Right, in this video I've come out to a little village in the Washburn Valley called Stainburn, and there's a beautiful little old church here, St Mary's Church, and I've come with my Pentacon 6 medium format camera, and I've restricted myself today with one lens, and that's the Zeiss Jena 180mm Sonnar lens. I'm going to work with this lens wide open all the time and try and isolate subjects within the scene in the church grounds. I'm using it wide open because I've no option really. The actual iris on the 180 lens is stuck wide open. It's a common fault with some of the East German lenses. I have two of them where the actual irises they stick wide open. So I thought, well, I'll come out with this camera and lens combination and just see what I can come up with. This is the actual camera itself. This is the Pentacon 6. I've had it a while. It's not a bad camera, a bit cumbersome to use, but it does take some lovely pictures. And this is the Zeiss Jena 180mm lens. It's a fast lens and it's a very, very heavy lens. The weight on that is incredible. It's like lifting a house brick. It's not a lens really that I would come out with normally and be shooting at you know, apertures of f3.54, 5.68. It's just too big to carry. But for isolating subjects and portraiture, it's a fantastic lens. So I'll get to the camera set up, and I've seen the first shot I'm going to take, and I'll show you the setup if I can through the viewfinder of the Pentacon. So I've got the camera set up, and what I'm attempting to do is photograph wide open at 2.8 on the writing St Mary's Church, Stainburn, and get some of the church out of focus in the background. And that's the camera all set up on the tripod, and this is the view through the ground glass screen. Right, let's take a light reading, which is giving me 250 per second f2.8, so 250 at 2.8. Set the self timer, take this magnifying hood off, take the shot. So that's the first shot. Right, we'll have a walk into the grounds now. So this is the view through the Pentacon 6 viewfinder or ground glass, and I'm going to photograph this tombstone that's under some trees, so it's partially in shade and partially in sunlight. So I'll show you how I'm going to meter for this using my incident light meter. So you can see we've got bright areas on the tombstone, and I don't just want a meter for those because my shadows are going to go as well. So the way I use the handheld light meters, taking a reading like this where it's in the full sun is going to underexpose it for me. So what I tend to do is pull it into the shade until I get the dome, the lumosphere, partially shielded by the shade like that, and that's going to give me now an average reading. You can see that. So press the meter, and the exposure on that is just above 10, and I'll get away with 125 at f2.8, because as I say, I can't alter the aperture. I'm going to go for that. So just check the focus. Seems correct. 125. Wide open. 2.8. Set the self timer and press the shutter. And that's that shot taken. So I'll have another walk about and see if I can see anything else. It's actually too bright in the full sun with a 2.8. I need a faster shutter speed. Unfortunately, the Pentacon will only go to a thousandth, so I'm going to be struggling a little bit with the light. Right, I'm going to take a photograph of this tombstone and try and get the name William and died in focus, and then it'll all slowly go out of focus. So take a light reading. And it's giving me 2.8. I'm going to go for 2/50th of a second at f2.8. So 250 at f2.8. Right, get the exposure set. Check the focus. Set the shutter speed, 250, 2.8. Self timer going. Right, that's that exposure taken. I'm using actually Fuji Cross, and I'm rating it 80 ISO, and I'm going to develop it in Pyrocat HD. It's a two-part compensating developer. I've gone for the slowest film that I've got because, as I said before, I can't work in the bright light because the Pentacon 6 won't give me the faster shutter speed that I need. And some of the light readings I've taken to shoot at 2.8 in this light, I need around 2/4000th of a second. this photograph, I'm photographing, see, hard to see here really, but I'm photographing through the trees at the spire and the bell on the church, and it's going to throw a lot of these oak leaves out of focus, and I'm hoping it's going to give a soft feel to the image. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I'll take the picture, make sure it's in focus. .8. Right, I've taken that one. Slowly running out of options really. I'll just have another look around and see if there's anything else, but I was hoping the sun might just go into clouds, but it doesn't look like it's going to do it today, so might have to call it a day, but I'll just, as I say, walk around a little bit more, see if I can see anything else. Right, for this picture, as you can see here, I'm trying to get this top of this tombstone in the picture against the sky, and the actual tower, the bell on the church, that will be out of focus. I'll show you the view through the ground glass screen, so you get a better idea now of the actual perspective of the 180 lens wide open. Yeah, I've got the problem again, it's too bright. I can't get the shutter speed I need, so the sun's going to pop behind some clouds in a minute, and I'll just take this picture, and hopefully I'll get sort of picture with a nice bit of depth and detail in it. There are some very old tombstones, or you might call them headstones, at Stainburn, at St Mary's Church, and this is one of the oldest ones that I can find. Here lies the body of Charles Holmes, who died December 25th, 1765, aged 85 years. So he did well to live that age in them days. Also near this place, Isabel, his wife, I can't read that properly, died April 10th, 1777, aged 90 years. And then that's just disappeared at the bottom. That's one of the oldest. And there's another old one here. There must have been small tombstones them days. That's dated 1739. William Holmes died 1732, I think it is, or 82. I think I might, because it's quite critical as this focus, switch to the magnifying hood on the Pentacon 6, and that's this hood. I find this a very useful accessory for critical focus, so I'll show you how to change it, and I'll see if I can show you the view. See if I can do it one-handed. So that's it fitted on, and then I don't know if we're going to be able to see to do this. Yes, we just can. You get to see all the viewfinder through it, but the focusing when it's critical is a lot easier. It's really good for macro work, so they're well worth buying one of those if you can get hold of one. I'm not sure not sure exactly what they're called, but I think they call them a magnifying hood. And you've got the diopter adjustment on the top of them, so you've no problem with your eyes if you wear glasses or you don't. You just turn that until it comes in focus. So I just thought I'd show you that. I don't know what it is really with me. Maybe I'm getting older and getting near to coming to one of these places, but no, I just find them interesting places to visit. And looking at some of the old gravestones and that, you know, the people that lived in these areas and you know, died many years ago, and their lives now have gone, and we know nothing about them really, other than the names on the tombstones. But I find coming to places such as this church, a lot of churches in the Yorkshire Dales, and in other parts of the country as well, they're very tranquil places to visit, and I find it very, very relaxing. And I often come up to this old church at St Mary's. I was hoping really I could have got inside the church. Normally they leave the door open, but here's a few pictures that I took inside the church. These are with one of them was with my pinhole camera, and the other one's with the 4x5 camera. As I say, normally it's open, but it's locked at the moment. So that's the end of this video. I've had a few hours that I've enjoyed in the Washburn Valley again at St Mary's Church in Stainburn. It's a lovely, peaceful place to visit. I also enjoy using my Pentacon 6 medium format camera. It produces big 6x6 negatives, and if you can pick one of these up in good working order, I would highly recommend one. They are a nice camera to use. They're not a Hasselblad, but you know, they do suffice, and you can get that quality from the big negatives. The other piece of equipment that I used, and the idea today was to come out with this lens, which is the Zeiss Jena 180mm f2.8 Sonnar lens, was to come out and shoot everything wide open, which I have done, but I have struggled with the light today. The weather forecast didn't predict wall-to-wall sunshine, so in some of the shots that I wanted to take, I couldn't get the shutter speed high enough. The Pentacon 6 only goes to 1,000th of a second, and my light meter was telling me that on some of the exposures I needed 2,000th and 4,000th of a second. So I was restricted a little bit to shaded areas, but I have taken some pictures and we'll see how they turn out. But this lens is a beast of a lens. I mean, that's with the lens hood on, that's with it off. Even with that off, it's a very, very heavy lens. They are good value with the East German Pentacon cameras and their lenses. But a word of warning with these lenses, and I've got 2 of them, which I've tried to repair. I've got them working, but if you leave them stood, the iris sticks, and it sticks wide open. And this is what's happened to this lens, so I had no alternative but to use it at f2.8. So if you're buying into this system, just remember and make sure that the aperture is working correctly and it's shutting down as it should do, and it's not stuck wide open. So I wouldn't go out with this normally to take pictures, because it is so heavy, and especially when it's fastened to the Pentacon 6. But I would imagine this lens as a portrait lens would be absolutely superb, especially wide open. You will get some beautiful images from it. But to come out with it, you know, to take general photography, I'm afraid it's just too heavy for me. It's too bulky and too heavy. So it normally stays at home, does this, but I thought I'd give it a try and see what sort of images it does produce wide open. So that's the 180 Sonnar. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to get off home now, have some tea and develop these negatives, and hopefully I've got some pictures to show for the afternoon's work. So if you've liked this video, please give me a like. Better still, subscribe to my channel, and you'll get notifications when I upload more content. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.